Boom. Samantha Hawkins, Meek Spees, Philosophy, Bernadette H., The Trump Reaper, Samantha Hawkins, Foxhill Dreams, Julianne Gauthier, Kimini, Susie Brizuela, Meek Spees, Wilbur McCarthy, Lucille, That Damn Alaskan, Tina G, Kevin Rutherford, Meredith Powell, Wendy from Spain, Laurie Donahue, Linda Kay, Kimberly Moss, Misha Oliver, Dana from South Jersey, Monique Lee, Veronica Cello, Scribbles My Dibbles, Gary Lewis, Rose Cologne, M. Getz, Audrey U2, That Damn Alaskan, Sandra from Paramount, California, Cindy C. Welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad, and this is Storytime. Gling, gling. Welcome, everyone. I see Watcher Soko here, Bernadette H. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Meredith, well, I got you. Corey Lord is there. No, I did not trim the beard. Foxhill Dreams, it is just doing its thing. Happy Monday, you guys. Happy Monday. I did miss you guys on Friday. As you know, I was out of town. I was away from my desk. I had an event to go to that I told you about that I will fill you in on. And Lucille, thank you for the compliment on my shirt. It is baseball season, you know. So, and Lee Saunders, I see you there too. So we got some things to discuss, but first, let us do our stories of the day.
Stories of the day.
All right, stories of the day. The woke slap. Dems are getting slapped with wokeism. What kind of damage will it do if we do not return fire? We will discuss. Jared Kushner got paid. What's up with his laptop? We'll discuss. We have yet another update on Ukraine. Today's guessing game is I should have known that. And last but not least, today's You Raggedy Bish was a no-show at the debate this weekend, and it was none other than Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker. Okay. So let's see. What do we got? First things first. Let's give Scribble My Dibbles a shout out. Oh, I see Studio LB. What's up, my friend? Scribble My Dibbles, and Kathleen Cross too. Scribble My Dibbles informed me the other day that she has indeed tested positive for the Rona. So your prayers, your thoughts and prayers and positive healing vibes are very welcome. Sis, I love you. I know, you're good. You got the vaccine and the booster and all that. So you're going to pull through this. Absolutely going to pull through this. And let me just add that her husband, my brother-in-law, is a solid dude, despite the fact that he is a Red Sox fan. And, I know that she couldn't possibly be in better hands than having him looking out for her. So, Steve, I know. Scribble My Dibbles, love you. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on into our random stuffs. I love that I got my music shit back on point. Let's get started with this. All right, let me big screen this because this is... You guys don't get to see me clean up well often. I don't normally wear shirt and tie, but I did this past Friday. As you know, I had an event to attend. This was Lindy Lee's fundraiser on behalf of Senator Tammy Duckworth. And so there I am with a shirt and tie and a blazer. I didn't really want to dress up, but you got to do what you got to do. This is me once I arrived in Philly. I do have footage of me making my way to Philly. Let's see if we can bring that up here. Wait. This is my least favorite part of driving. This is bumper to bumper traffic. I think I'm in Pennsylvania. Yeah, obviously I'm in Pennsylvania. I think I'm near Philadelphia. My GPS is telling me 33 minutes from my destination, which it's now 3:51. So that'll put me there early. I spoke to Lindy Lee. She said, well, if you get here early, you gotta wait. So I'll probably just be sitting in the vehicle. Maybe I can, depending on what the neighborhood looks like, I can take a walk around and around and see where I'm at. But yeah, I'm excited about this thing. I'm going to get to meet Senator Tammy Duckworth. Oh yeah, and unfortunately, I did ask. I said, am I permitted to use a video recording device? And she said, absolutely not. So, oh well. So here I am stuck in this rolling parking lot, and there's not a whole hell of a lot that's interesting to look at here. You know what traffic is like. I hate it. 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 I wish I had a guessing game to play. So yeah, that was me making my way to Philly, and I was hungry. I will say I was a bit peckish on my way to Philly, and I figured, I better not stop. I better not stop along the way, because I'm sure they're gonna have food at this shindig, and they did, but that food wasn't all that. Hey, Punxsutawney Mo, I see you there, buddy. Welcome. How long was the trip? It was about 2 hours, roughly about 2 hours. It wasn't too bad. Traffic was, aside from that little spot that I just filmed, traffic was mostly, zoom, zoom, zoom. I actually didn't hit traffic until I got to Philly. This is the view from the room that we were in. It was kind of like a conference room thing, fancy conference room. It was the view was astounding. I could have just sat there and stared out the window the entire time I was there. But I didn't. I did mingle. There were some interesting folks there. Not a lot. There was probably about, I want to say 20 people total there. And you know what's funny? I didn't even get, it's weird, I didn't get a chance to get a selfie with Lindy, which is just mind-boggling. What happened? But yeah, she had told me before I got there, she said, I asked, can I videotape? And she's like, no videotape, etc. So I was like, damn. And so just that kind of just put me off from this, just don't mess with the phone while you're here. So that's what happened. And I did manage to get a picture with Senator Tammy Duckworth, who is very nice. She's a very nice lady. And she did, she had a nice, compelling story about her rise to being senator. So yeah, it was a overall really nice time I had. Oh, damn, I did forget one thing. Let me go full screen here. Wednesday, I do have some news. I have another interview that I'm doing with a guy that some of you may be familiar with. His name is Nick Knudsen. Nick Knudsen is going to be on the show on Wednesday, so I'm looking forward to that. He's a very good guy. He's a solid. He is a solid organizer, grassroots organizer, and he's one of the heroes of the resistance. Make no mistake about it. Let's see. So today in history, today is April 11th. I kind of like doing this during April because April is like my favorite month. It's my birth month. What's up, Stephanie L. from Florida and Jen Murphy? Yeah, and actually, fun fact, his last name is not pronounced Knudsen, as I thought all these years. It's Knudsen. Did not know. I was like 3 days ago years old when I learned that, so that's fun. So today in history, in 1947, Jackie Robinson became the first black player in Major League history. He played in an exhibition game for the Brooklyn Dodgers. That is a fun fact. Also, today in history, 1968, April 11th, 1968, just 2 weeks before I was born, President Johnson, Lyndon B. Johnson, signed the 1968 Civil Rights Act. President Johnson is definitely a significant figure in American history. Consequential, I should say. 1974, somebody else was dealing with some consequences. It was Richard M. Nixon. The Judiciary Committee in 1974, today, subpoenaed Richard Nixon to produce tapes for the impeachment inquiry. That did happen. Sounds like, feels like history is possibly repeating itself. I don't know. I hope so. What's up, Veronica Tello? I see you there. And Samantha Hawkins. This weekend, wifey and I we watched quite a few things, actually. There's this show on Hulu. It's a comedy. It's like a half-hour comedy. It's in season 2. Season 2 just started. It's called Woke. And woke is actually is the main topic for today's discussion. Wokeism. But this show is about, it's loosely based on a true story. There's an artist by the name of Keith Knight. He goes by Keith, Keef, but in real life it's just Keith, Keith. But anyway, Keith Knight is an artist, and he does a little comic strip and one day he gets I want to say assaulted by cops, and that throws him, psychologically into a tailspin until finally he embraces how this affected his life, and he becomes an activist or an artivist. Yeah. And it's a funny show. It's just a really funny show. He's got some weird friends, some good friends, some funny experiences. Oh, and the most important thing about the show, I guess, the draw for me was that his cartoon characters and inanimate objects, like, they start speaking to him. Like his marker. His marker is the voice of J.B. Smoove. And there's trash cans in the with the voice of Cedric the Entertainer. So it's a very funny show. And there's a lot of, references that you guys will get, and it's funny. So check them out. Oh, the Trump Reaper says she met him at a comic book gathering. That is a fun fact. Very cool, Trump Reaper. And then there's a show called Tokyo Vice, which this is on HBO Max, and it's a very intriguing show. It's a drama, and Ansel Elgort is the guy on the far right. He plays a journalist. He plays a reporter in Japan, and he is studying to be a journalist, but not just any journalist, but a journalist for Japan's flagship newspaper. And they have never had a foreigner on their staff until him. And Ken Watanabe, Ken Watanabe also plays a guy who I think he's in Japan's version of the CIA. And the two of them, they end up working together because it seems like neither the CIA nor the newspaper that Ansel Elgort works for wants to deal with real news or apprehending real criminals. And what's the name of that? The Yakuza is involved in this show too. So very, very interesting show. And last but not least, Death on the Nile. Wifey and I started watching this like a week ago, and we just finished watching it this weekend. It's all right. It's all right. I mean, we really did enjoy the movie prior to this. Murder on the Orient Express was a fantastic flick. It's got, high wattage celebrities, and the celebrities in this were decent. You have Gal Gadot from Wonder Woman, and Letitia Wright, the anti-vaxxer from Black Panther. I can't believe she's an anti-vaxxer. Good Lord. Philosophy, I have watched a few episodes of Severance. I haven't gotten back into it yet. I suspect I will. Oh, and this guy, Armie Hammer, who I believe is possibly a cannibal. There was some controversy around some admission he made about eating people. Bizarre. Anyway, he and Gal Gadot get married in the movie, and then somebody gets deaded, and then there's a mystery, and the mystery isn't really as shocking as you would think. Like Wifey and I figured it out less than halfway through the movie. We were less than halfway through, and we yep, this person did it and this person did it, and we knew that they did it, and that was all there was to it. The best thing about the movie, I think, was that we got an origin story behind. Let me get a zoom in. An origin story behind Hercule Poirot's mustache. That was actually quite interesting. The reason they explained why he grew this crazy mustachio. And that's all I got to say about that, ladies and gentlemen. So now let us go ahead and jump on into our quick hits. So that's me attempting to moderate the volume of the punch. How did I do? Do all right? All right, quick hits. Tonight, we finally get Rachel Maddow back in her rightful time slot. Let's enjoy her as long as we're able to. She's not going to be with MSNBC much longer. You guys know, just so you know, I know you guys know this is not news from me. Too quiet? Cindy said Cindy said the punches are too quiet now. I can't win. So yeah, Rachel is going to be back. But before we go any further, gotta give props to this guy here, Ali Velshi. Not only did this brother hold it down, I mean, he held it down in a slot where, you know, Rachel Maddow is probably MSNBC's most popular anchor, news person, you know, most popular. So that's a lot of pressure on the man. And so he not only held it down, but he held his own from Ukraine. From Ukraine. He was reporting in Ukraine. So, you know, I can see they could easily put this guy in Chuck Todd's slot. Why not? He's this quality, solid quality guy. Why not? You know they see our tweets. You know they see our angry tweets every Sunday. Get rid of Chuck Todd! Elon Musk. You guys remember, he just recently purchased 9% of 9% of Twitter's shares. And what I'm doing, by the way, you guys, is I'm just retweeting. I'm retweeting the tweet for this show. If I don't do it, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? So he purchased the 9% of Twitter, and that made him like the biggest shareholder, right? And so a lot of people started thinking, oh, we're going to get Spanky McDumbass back. You know, well, they weren't calling him Spanky McDumbass. We're getting Lord Fuhrer Orange Cheeto back. No, they wouldn't call him that either. But we're getting President Trump back in Twitter. Oh, God, thank you. No, you're not. At least it doesn't appear so, because Elon Musk just announced that he is not going to be joining the board as he indicated he would. And some people think it's because he found out that, here we go, here from that damn Alaskan, he can't pass a BG check. That's background check. Yeah. Oh, wait, I have to share this with you. It has nothing to do with Elon Musk, but this took Lee Saunders ages to write this. She says, Agatha Christie invented Hercule Poirot when she was a nurse treating injured soldiers during World War I. She based him on one of them. Oh, shit. Oh, Lee Saunders, thank you for that. I did not know. That adds another dimension to, you should probably watch. If you don't watch the whole thing, watch the first 15 minutes. Actually, the first bit of the movie was really entertaining. First maybe half hour or so. Yeah, go ahead and check it out. It's a good show. So where was I? Oh yeah, so this guy, he cannot pass a background check, and if he did join the board, that would prevent him from purchasing any more prevent him from purchasing any more stock. So you can't, well, not anymore, but he couldn't go above 14%, I believe is the number. And so maybe he's trying to keep his options open. Maybe he doesn't want people looking into his background and whatever. So that's the deal with that. Jared Kushner secured a $2 billion investment, $2 billion with a B dollars from the Saudis. Yes, the very same people who murdered Jamal Khashoggi, the same people who orchestrated 9/11, those people. So, you want to go digging into somebody's laptop, maybe you want to go dig into Jared Kushner, who had no business being in the White House. He was not qualified. He wasn't even solid enough to figure out how to fill out his security form. Come on. Susie Briswella says there is no ethical way to get that rich. I agree. Gary Lewis says he can't stand Javanka. That's right. Yeah, disgusting. Why aren't people more concernicus with this? This is problematic. What else has he sold? The Saudi prince already knew that he had Jared Kushner wrapped around the finger. So what secrets, what influence did that $2 billion pay for? I'd love to know. Hey, Jen and Fat Tony, there they are. Jen and Fat Tony, I haven't seen you guys in a minute. Glad to have you back here. All right. Meanwhile, Liz Cheney says that the January 6th committee possibly has enough evidence to issue a criminal referral on Donald Trump. She says they have enough evidence. Enough. So what's the problem? What are you waiting for? We are waiting for you to do that. What's the issue? Well, apparently, despite the fact that she knows for a fact that they have enough evidence. But there is a rift on the January 6th committee. They're split. They're split on whether or not they should do it. What do you mean? This is so frustrating because it's like you see the crimes that he's committed. Why is he bulletproof to them? Why is he impervious to accountability? Because in this case, they are concernicus that that if they refer this for criminal charges, that it will be perceived as too political for the DOJ to pick up, and then they will have wasted their shot. So, I mean, what if the DOJ is not going to pick it up? Then what are we even doing? What is this, kabuki theater? Huh? You guys just going through the motions, just putting on a show for us? Do you have no intention of doing, hey, Wojo Mom, I see you. Wojo Mom is here. Wojo Mom. You have no intention of following through on this? That would be the biggest travesty in the history. If that happens, if we go through these 4 years of Joe Biden, and there's no accountability to be had for Spanky McDumbass, I'll say it. I can see Dems staying home on election day. I can see it. I can see it happening. I'm not saying it should, but I can see it happening. It's like, it's like we went through like 4 or 5 years of freaking chaos and bullshit, and for us to, we put the guy in the office, and then we're not getting none of the accountability and the arrests and nothing. And what the hell? What is the point? We're going to lose our democracy if that happens. Really, that would be the biggest The biggest shame of all time. Seriously. Oh, and this France had their elections yesterday, and it was a nail biter. A nail biter. So President Macron narrowly escaped with 28% of the vote, and Marine Le Pen garnered a surprising 24% of the vote. Now, with that said, there were a lot of people, a lot of contenders soaking up all the percentages, right? I think there were a total of 12 candidates. So if Le Pen, now there's a runoff between Macron and Le Pen. And if Le Pen, God forbid Le Pen should win, it's a major hit to democracy in Europe. You know, she is a big fan of Putin. And, you know, the last time she ran, she lost by a landslide. She lost to Macron back in, I want to say it was 2017, lost by a landslide. But she was a lot more, her messaging was a lot more right-wing back then. And she's massaged her messaging so she's not as extreme as she was back then. She's still extreme. She's just, you know, it's funny. She kind of reminds me a little bit of Liz Cheney. I don't know why. Went from Liz to Marine. Anyway, Peter is the boss says it should never be that close. It should never be that close, indeed. Wilbur McCarthy says Le Pen is acting like a young kin, a wolf in sheep's clothing. A youngkin. Like Glenn Youngkin. Yes, thank you. And Lee Saunders correctly points out she's running on the economy now, specifically on inflation. Prices are too damn high. That's her messaging. And yeah. What's next? Our Ukraine update. We're looking today at Sweden and Finland after having been threatened by Putin. You better not join NATO, man. You join NATO, man, I'm gonna fuck you up. And Finland and Sweden were like, oh, really? Is that your final answer? We're gonna join NATO. So it looks like they could, Sweden and Finland can both be members of NATO as early as late this summer, which would be a good thing. And it's hard to imagine how somebody who has been described as a genius could fuck this up so bad that he's just pushing people, you know, he's pushing people to join NATO. He's achieving the opposite of what he wants. It's weird. Oh, Lee Saunders, I know you're not going to like this, but sorry. This weekend, Bojo Boris Johnson was in Ukraine visiting with President Zelensky. And that's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. Like even President Biden didn't go to spend time with President Zelensky, probably because of security concerns, and Johnson probably felt like, nobody gives a fuck about me anyway, so I'll go ahead. It's safe for me to go there. Nobody even doesn't care about me. Yeah, but it is a pretty big deal, you know, like just for them to be out and about walking in streets, safe and sound. Oh, look at Lee Saunders did tweet. She said, I tweeted support for UK supporting Ukraine. It was the right thing to do. Indeed. I just know you're not a fan of Boris. So, and then here, let me make this bigger so you guys can see. Then Zelensky handed this to Boris and said, hold my cock. I'm sorry. It was. Wait. Yeah. He had a gift. Silly me. Last but not least is No Laughing Matter. On Thursday or Friday, it was Kramatorsk was attacked. It was a missile attack, a heinous missile attack by Russia. Killed over 50 civilians and injured over 100. And written on the side of that missile, I can't confirm that it's what it says, but people who know Russian said, or Ukrainian said, it says for the children. It's horrendous. It's horrendous. And the attacks, they continue. You know, this was Kramatorsk, but, you know, they are just committing war crimes all throughout Ukraine. And you just wonder, you know, when does it end? How does it end? You know, short of us going in there, which I feel would make things worse. And maybe that's what Putin wants. Maybe he wants us to go in there. Maybe he loses this. Maybe Putin loses this war if we don't go in. Yeah, it's terrible. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. You know, it's easy to sit on the sidelines and criticize and say, oh, you should stop this. But really, what's the answer? More, for all intents and purposes, all we can do right now is just give them more weapons, I think. Hello, Regina Clark. I see you there. Errol Thomas is here saying Republic clowns love Putin. You know, I went to school with a guy named Errol Thomas. Good name, my brother. All right. Okay, it is time now for our timeline cleanse, and not a moment too soon.
Timeline cleanse.
Love that tune. Okay, I definitely did need this timeline cleanse. And really, there's nothing more cleansing than a puppy, except maybe if you put that puppy in the corner pocket. One more. He's so cute. Adorables. If you were having a shitty day, let's see, Trump Reaper wants to know, will I ever play the whole Timeline Cleanse song? I think I did. I did, you know, a year ago when we were looking for a new song for Storytime. I played that whole thing, and you guys were like, nah! Oh, actually, I don't even think I didn't even get to play the whole song, because after like 40 seconds, you were like, nah! All right. Let's see. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. Next up, so let's continue with our canine friends here. Some dogs are cute. Other dogs are smart. And other dogs would like to phone a friend. I don't know. I don't know if you guys saw that. I'm going to have to play that for you again. What happened was that dog picked the wrong one. He picked the one with only one niblet in it. And he's like, let me do over. Here, let's do that again. Look at him. He spit that the hell out. Oh, that's so fun. All right. Now, last but not least, this next one is a comedian by the name of Walter Masterson. I'm sure some of you have seen his shtick. He's very funny. He often goes around Trumpers and makes them look foolish. This one here I'm presenting to you because today President Biden made a speech specifically targeting ghost guns, right? And specifically he's saying, look, these ghost guns, I don't know if you guys realize what ghost guns are. They are unmarked, they're untraceable, and you can you buy them disassembled and you put them together. So it's like a loophole. You can have a gun, you can avoid a background check and all that shit. So President Biden's trying to put the clamps down on it. No sooner than he made this announcement, Second Amendment is trending, right? So Walter Masterson put together a little piece about the Second Amendment. Check it out.
We need common sense gun reform. Y'all just want to take away our guns for your socialist agenda. What are you talking about? We love guns. Wait, y'all like guns? Yes! We need lots of guns so we can protect ourselves against the government. Yeah! Overthrow the corporate elites. Yeah! And bring about communism. What? I'm sorry, what? Wait, what? Yeah, no, so the more guns we have, the more faster we can bring about communism. I mean, once everyone has a gun, we're going to have some communism? I mean, how else are marginalized groups going to protect themselves against the police? Yeah, no, so the more guns we have, the more they're taking our guns away. Yeah, we don't need everyone to have guns. You can't take a community to have access to guns. But the Second Amendment, landlords. Second Amendment. Second Amendment. Second Amendment. You okay there, comrade? Is he okay? I think you broke him.
He broke him indeed. That was a very good one. And actually, I do have a bonus one that I did see from our friend Philosophy. It's a quick one, and let me see if I can share my screen. Let's see, Chrome tab. Let's see. Here we go.
So anyways, I've been working on toe side. So anyways, I've been working on toe side.
Okay. They can't slow down. Okay, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for our timeline cleanse. Please remember to strike the like button. Smash it. Smash it. I can't slow down. All right. Next up, let's talk about wokeism. Let's talk about this woke slap that the GOP is putting on the Democrats right now. And it's unmistakable. It's unmistakable. They are putting the smackdown on us with this woke label. And it seems like, it looks like, it sounds like, it feels like Democrats are not responding to this at all. Now, for all intents and purposes, being woke is not necessarily a negative thing, but it has been weaponized. It's been turned into a joke. I say it's woke is a joke. You know, they're making fun of us, and you know, in some instances, it is called for. You know, we have to be able to look at our own side, with brutal honesty. You know, you have to know what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. And being woke should not necessarily be a weakness. In fact, I don't believe it is. Here, the actual definition of woke: aware, knowledgeable about your community and the world, with the willingness to access and critique systems of oppression. That is probably, in my opinion, the best definition of the intention of being woke. Best definition by far. But there are evolving definitions as woke, as more things are being attributed to woke. So it's encompassing more things. And let's go to this next one here. This one is funny. It says, what bigoted white people yell whenever they see a minority on screen? These movies are too woke. Why are there so many woke adverts? Oh, I should have done that with a British accent. Why are there so many woke adverts? Yeah. Here's another definition of woke. This one says, the act of being very pretentious about how much you care about a social issue. Yeah, most people don't care about parking spaces for families with disabled pets. I wish they were woke like me. Yeah, there's some people like that, you know. There's some people who are smelling their own farts because they are so certain that they are better than everyone else because of their values and their ideals. And now here we go. Here's another definition of woke. This is from the right. A state of awareness only achieved by those dumb enough to find injustice in everything except their own behavior. That sounds more like this, you know, the folks who fall in this category came up with that T-shirt. But they've got T-shirts and mugs made of this. And, people are coming up with their own definitions of it, but mostly you either love it or you hate it. There's very few people in the middle. I do believe that I am one of those people in the middle. I believe that there is a good purpose for wokeism, for being woke, but I also believe that it can be taken too far, too. Here's a tweet here from Z. It says, I wish I could go back to being ignorant. You know how tiring it is to be woke all the time? Yeah, I do. Here's a tweet from the opposite side. Ted Cruz. Holy crap. Perhaps a woke, emasculated military is not the best idea. This is Ted Cruz responding to a video of, I think, women in the military. I don't know. But woke or wokeism actually is the evolution from the phrase politically correct. Politically correct. That's 6 syllables. Woke is just 1. So woke kind of sticks better. Woke kind of pokes you in the eye a lot faster. Politically correct was a phrase that came out. And here's a fun fact, you guys. Politically correct, when that phrase first came out, was popularized in the 70s and by the left, and it was meant as self-deprecating humor. They weren't really serious. It was more a satirical thing. Look at how, politically correct we are. Or they were like, it was an inside joke kind of thing. And then it evolved into this thing that is weaponized right now. This picture here, it shows, it's kind of funny. There's an arrow pointing at the guy's head. It says, hair disadvantaged, optically challenged. Because, we started hearing, I remember we started hearing a while back definitions of, people and that were strange, like somebody who was short was now height challenged. People, when we used to say the word handicapped, I said, no, it's not handicapped, it's handy-capable. Okay, or it's disabled, or I don't know where the description has evolved to. And, I'm fine with saying whatever the acceptable term is. I'm fine with it. Just don't castigate me if I don't get it right, if I don't happen to have an up-to-the-minute update on what is the socially acceptable, politically correct term. And that's where I think politically correct or woke gets a bad gets a bad rap from. Because it does feel like, there are definitions of people that have changed, and some rightfully so. I remember growing up, there were a lot of really hateful descriptions of people from the LGBTQ community. Hateful things that I won't even repeat on this show. One word begins with an F, another word begins with an H. That's what I was going to say. And I think it's right. So where woke is the right thing is when you start treating people, you start treating communities that are disenfranchised, that are vulnerable, when you start treating them more with the respect that they deserve, that they are entitled to, and you don't dismiss them, you don't minimize them with a term or phrase that is hateful, that dehumanizes them. And that's the purpose, that is the positive purpose of woke. It's basically meant to take people who are disadvantaged and you give them the respect that they are due. Stop dismissing them with these, with these slurs, racial slurs. No more. I'm happy for that. My former boss, he used to like to send me these racist emails, and it wouldn't even, when he sent them to me, I'm pretty sure they weren't like anti-black or anti-Muslim. He would send me something about Jewish people or Asian people. And I was like, don't send this to me. Well, what are you getting so upset about? I'm like, because I don't like it. Today it's about these people here. Tomorrow it might be about somebody else, somebody that I care about, or it might be about me. I don't want it. If you do get it wrong in today's highly charged climate, you will have the pitchforks out against you. And sometimes, and people call that cancel culture. Whatever. I don't know that cancel culture is really a thing, because there's people you would love to see canceled, and for some reason they're still uncanceled. They're still out there talking, making statements, on Fox News in front of millions of people. If you're canceled, that means your microphone has been taken away. Your ability to address your concerns, your thoughts and concerns in front of a humongous audience is now stifled. Well, that's not it at all. But there should be accountability. There should be accountability for bad behavior. And that's why there's been such a negative outlash at wokeism, because wokeism demands accountability. It demands that you take the extra second or 10 to think of a better way to address your fellow human. Don't be lazy. Don't go back to your 1980s or 1970s vocabulary. Think. This world is changing. You don't hear people call Asian folks Oriental anymore. I remember growing up, I'm old enough to remember when that was a thing. And nobody batted an eye. but we have updated it. It's not, nobody says Oriental anymore. So what's the problem? Get with the program. Some people prefer black, some people prefer African American. Get with it. Huh? Is it that much of a disadvantage? Is it that much of an inconvenience to speak to someone how they prefer to be spoken to? What's your fucking problem? I don't frankly have time for political correctness. That's it. That's it. He doesn't have the time to treat you properly. And unfortunately, this was what propelled him into the national conversation. It catapulted him over his rivals. His rant about political correctness. Yeah, man, he's right. I'm tired of having to call black people African American. To be politically correct just takes too much time. The actual thing that this jackass said, and that millions of people agreed with. This is an issue. It's a problem. And we've had 12 years to deal with correcting this problem. He started this bullshit about 12 years ago. And, unfortunately, the GOP is evolving their attacks on wokeism. They're evolving their weaponization of it. Here is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who started this thing called the Stop Woke Act. A lot of this is just performative politics, meant to cast Democrats as these out of touch, elite people who are not in touch with the regular needs of you and I, and people that want to force their ideals on your children and mine, and you see the CRT, the no CRT sign to the right of him. That's not an accident. That is not an accident. That is intentional. Let's start off with his bullshit don't say gay bill. So the purpose of that is to prevent teachers from even mentioning anything that has to do with, let's say, there's a lot of kids right now, growing up right now, that have two gay parents. They're growing, that's the household that they're growing up in. So those kids, if there's a topic where they have to talk about their family, what are they to do? What are they to do? I have two mommies. What are you going to do? You're supposed to feel ashamed of themselves, ashamed of their family? What about the people, the kids who identify as gay or identify as trans? Were they supposed to grow up feeling shamed? This is what you want to do? You want to compound their pain? We've already made gains in this area. We've made advances in this area. And you want to go back to the 1950s where people had to live in shame, live closeted lives? That's bullshit. Transgender teens need safe and supportive schools. 27% feel unsafe at or going to or from school. 35% are bullied at school. 35% attempt suicide. These are serious numbers. And they're not just numbers. They're real people. These are children. What do you propose to do with these children that you have now mandated that they must be silent about their own existence? It's disgusting. And you know what they tried to do, which makes it even worse? The Republicans, they try to make it look that over the past week, Every time I turn on Twitter, the word groomer or grooming is trending. So a groomer is what they consider a person who is a pedophile, who treats a young child in a way and shows them that it's okay to have this kind of sex or whatever. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But they are trying to equate homosexuality with grooming. And that's fucking bullshit. That's bullshit. And it is time that these people get called out for that bullshit, because you're gonna see a lot more hate crimes arise as a result of this. People are stupid, and you start feeding them this nonsense. Republicans, you gotta they have to be held accountable for hate crimes that arise as a result of this. Yeah, Dream Weasel. Dream Weasel actually is a pretty good tweeter. I see them frequently posting below my tweets. Yep, grooming has become right-wing boilerplate for quote, directly teaching children messages of diversity and tolerance that contradict the bigoted and intolerant views of their parents. And of course, grooming implies pedophilia. Exactly. What Dream Weasel is trying to say is that the right wing is equating, just explaining to kids, that some people have two mommies, some people have two daddies. They're equating that with grooming, and that is nonsense. And then you have performance clowns like Ted Cruz with this anti-racist baby thing that he pulled out of his bag of tricks during the confirmation hearing for Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. So babies are not born racist. We know this already. You have to be taught how to be racist. And 3, what is wrong with teaching kids that it is bad to be racist? What's wrong with that? What's wrong? You say all these people who are against CRT, critical race theory, say, I'm not a racist. I just don't want my kids learning about that racist stuff. I don't want my kids to feel uncomfortable. If you teach it properly, they don't have to feel uncomfortable. They should be aware of what has happened before they were born. You teach them in the right context. You can get it right, but they're just dismissing it outright, saying, no, I don't want them learning about slavery. Slavery happened so long ago, it's never going to happen again. They don't need to know about that shit. Yes, they do, because those who forget their past are doomed to repeat it. And then Christopher Rufo, not enough attention is spent dissecting what this son of a bitch did. And he wrote on March 15th, we have successfully frozen their brand, this was a year ago, critical race theory into the public conversation and are steadily driving up negative perceptions. We will eventually turn it toxic as we put all of the various cultural insanities under that brand category. Here he is laying out his dastardly plan as though he's Dr. Evil. The goal is to have the public read something crazy in the newspaper and immediately think critical race theory. We have decodified the term and will recodify it to annex the entire range of cultural constructions that are unpopular with Americans. You see, this is their crazy evil plan, but they came up with it and they executed it, and Democrats looked at it and they're like, this is a shame. Oh, well. And we did nothing about it. Oh, except, we did focus our attention on the important stuff like, taking down statues. And look, don't get me wrong. I agree with pulling down statues of, racist generals and shit. I just don't think that is a major priority. You want to impress me? Do something about those no-knock warrants. Stop that shit from happening. Stop that. Stop cops from being immune to prosecution for killing black people. Stop that from happening. Make that happen. But I don't care about it. Honestly, I don't. It's fine. And this. Okay, so this is shit like this. Stunts like this are what gave wokeism a cartoonishly bad rap. This. And again, don't get me wrong. I know our elected officials have the best intentions. They are well-intentioned people. These are not hateful people. These are not people that I wouldn't go into battle with. I would go into battle with them, absolutely. But this is not helpful. They think that it's helpful to wear the kente cloth, but it comes across as, as disingenuous. That's how it comes across, like a stunt. And that's why wokeism gets a bad name for shit like this. Juneteenth is a good thing. Making Juneteenth a national holiday, it didn't require any money to be spent. It was just a proclamation, and now people will learn about it, and that is a good thing. This is an example of wokeism doing some good, teaching some history, yeah? Because embedded within the holiday that is Juneteenth is the history. Why are we celebrating Juneteenth today? And every time you got to say, it's because, back when the slaves were emancipated, not all of them were emancipated. They just let some of these other slaves keep on working as though they were still slaves and they weren't free. And Juneteenth was the day that they became officially free. So this was a good thing. It was a very good thing. Here's a chart. Are you easily offended by language? And on the left here, it says people need to be more careful with language in order to avoid offending people. And on the right, it says too many people are easily offended these days over language. And it looks like the right, there's more people agreeing with the sentiment on the right than on the left. And it's a breakdown of Republicans versus Democrats. And it shows there is obviously a partisan rift between who thinks it's okay to speak to people however you want to speak to them and who disagrees with that. Democrats obviously feel like, don't speak to me like that. And Republicans feel like, I'll speak to you in any way I feel like it. Yeah, so that's pretty much in a nutshell my whole thing about this woke slap. I brought this up because when I went to Lindy Lee's thing, I spoke to a guy who is a fundraiser. He's a donor. I think he's a donor, actually. And he's concerned. He's concerned about November. He thinks that the Republicans are beating us upside the head with this woke thing. And he was a smart guy. We spoke for a while, too. And I didn't want to, monopolize his time, but he was very knowledgeable about what was going on and the trends across the country. And yeah, our side has to figure out a way to speak about this, to clear the air and say, you know what? Being woke is not only is it not a crime, but it is essential. But it's got to be within reason. We can't get too carried away with the wokeness shit. We can't. That's my personal feeling, And if you want to be woke, that's fine, but don't automatically punish people if they don't get it right on the first try. Kind of give them the benefit of the doubt and say, look, there's a way, like bring people along. Don't assume that everybody knows the lingo. There's some words, cisgender, collectivism, mansplain, toxic masculinity, trigger warning, zero waste. Those are a lot of mainstream woke phrases, but everybody doesn't know this culture. It's got to be a process. You got to bring people along, oh, here we go. Scribble my dibbles. The Rona clearly has not affected your brain, my sis. She says, we can't be zealots about being woke. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And that's all I got to say about that. Thank you very much for listening to me. And now it is time. If you have not yet smashed that like button, please do so. Let's jump into our guessing game. And let me see. I think I want to turn on this music now. I think I like this for the guessing game. I should have known that. Now, you guys, we've played this before. We have played this game before, and how it goes is that I'm going to read a question to you, and this question, you should know the answer to it. Most of you should. These are things that, you'd be surprised, like, oh, wait, I know that. So it's that. So when I read it, you type in the answer, and I shout you out if you get it right. Okay, so here we go again. Question number 1. What sport is depicted in the logo of the fashion brand Ralph Lauren? Read that again. What sport is depicted in the logo of the fashion brand Ralph Lauren? Begin, discuss, guess. What sport is depicted in the logo of the fashion brand Ralph Lauren? I don't know why I've affected that accent, but I've seen enough. Fun fact, my kids hate it when I smash the cowbell. They hate it, both of them. I don't know why. I didn't even realize they could hear it because I can barely hear it on the replay. But yeah, they hate that cowbell. They need less cowbell. And the answer we're looking for A, polo. Congratulations to you if you did answer correctly. At the top here we have Veronica Tella. There you go. Followed by Meredith Powell, Lee Saunders, Nurse Mitch, Susie Brizuela, Claudia, That Damn Karen, Kathleen Cross, Samantha Hawkins, Marie from New Jersey, Misha Oliver, Valerie G, The Trump Reaper, Watcher Soko, Lucy L, That Damn Alaskan, Monique Lee, Philosophy, Jen Murphy, Bernadette H, Julianne Gauthier, Mia to You, Wilbur McCarthy, Gary Lewis, Michelle Bookout, Regina Clark, Corey Lord. Good job, you guys. Good job. I can't read all of the names. I was trying my damnedest to. I got to cut it back on these. But wait. Oh, so yeah, it's A. A is for answer. Q is for question. Okay? We're going to do the next one. You ready? Here we go. Who was the Soviet Union's final president, comrade? Please to guess. Who was the Soviet Union's final president? Please to guess correct answer, please. Okay. I've seen enough. Sorry, kids. So sorry. The correct answer we were looking for is Mikhail Gorbachev. And let's see. At the top here we have the Trump Reaper. And the Trump Reaper is followed by Lee Saunders, Meredith Powell, Jen Murphy, Veronica Tello, Susie Brizuela, Misha Oliver, Michelle Bookout, Lucy L., Punxsutawney Moo, Wilbur McCarthy, Scribble My Dibbles, Valerie G., Nurse Mitch, Claudia, Samantha Hawkins, Kathleen Cross, Watcher Soko, Shell Teresa, Bernadette H., Julianne Gautier, Errol Thomas, Cindy C., Tina G., Pam Ham, that is a fun name, Pam Ham, Regina Clark, Veronica Tello. Good job, you guys, good job. Okay, here's the next one. How many bones are in the human body? Not an easy question, but I will say this, and I'm very proud to say this. My daughter, I tested her with a lot of these questions. She guessed this one, bang, like not even 1 second. She just spat out the answer. I was like, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, because I couldn't remember off the top of my head. Seriously, I could. Now I will. Now, because it's at the front of my memory banks. She wants to be a doctor, by the way. It's either a doctor or a veterinarian. I believe it's a veterinarian. All right, I've seen enough. Where did I put that thing? Here we go. The correct answer is 206. Yes, 206. And let's see. At the top here, we have Susie Brizuela with the 206. Good job. Good job, Susie. And then she is followed by Philosophy. That damn Karen. Nurse Mitch, Samantha Hawkins, EPC, Misha Oliver, Julianne Gautier, Zephyr, Kathleen Cross, Watcher Soko, Errol Thomas, Claudia, Cindy C, Jen Murphy. Good job, you guys. Good job. Good job. Good job. All right, let's see. Here's the next one. What animal is Robin Hood in the animated Disney film? I'll read that again. What animal is Robin Hood in the animated Disney film? And we have a fun fact. I have a fun fact from Cindy C. It says, whoops. She says 206 is also Washington's area code, or Western Washington's. When I was a kid, now too many to count. That is a fun fact there, Cindy. Washington. Okay, and I've seen enough. The correct answer is a fox. Fox. And at the top here we have the Trump Reaper. Yeah. Good job. Good job, Trump Reaper. she is followed by Meredith Powell, Susie Brizuela, EPC, Zephyr, Nurse Mitch, Cindy C, Regina Clark, Misha Oliver, Claudia, Shell Teresa, Fox Philosophy, Veronica Tello, Bernadette H, Watcher Soko, Corey Lord, Errol Thomas, Mia to you, Samantha Hawkins, Gary Lewis, Punxsutawney Mo, Scribble My Dibbles, Julianne Gauthier, Wilbur McCarthy. Susie Brizuela says Maid Marian is a vixen. I did not know. I couldn't even have told you that. Is a vixen a female fox? I don't know. Marie from New Jersey, Pam Ham. Good job, you guys. Very good. Very good. Here's the next one. Name at least one of the two flying pioneers, the Wright brothers. Name at least one of the two flying pioneers, the Wright brothers. So a vixen is a female fox. What do you know? What do you know? Got another fun fact from Wilbur McCarthy, who says when he moved to Georgia in 1979, we only had 2 zip codes in the whole state, 404 in the north and 912 in the south. You know, I remember only having 2 area codes in New York. It was 212 and the 718. That was it. And now there's a bunch more. There's a 646. There's a damn it. What are the other ones? I want to say 929 is another one. Anyway, I've seen enough. We were looking for Orville and Wilbur. Let's see. Meredith Powell is at the top. Good job, Meredith. And she is followed by Orville. She said Orville. The other one was Wilbur, right? Orville Redenbacher is what I think of. Nurse Mitch, Kathleen Cross, Veronica Tello, Meek Spees. The Trump Reaper wrote Orville Popcorn, of course. Bernadette H, Cindy C, EPC, Gary Lewis, Marie from New Jersey, Regina Clark, Susie Brizuela, Samantha Hawkins, Mia to you, Maureen Otto, Misha Oliver, Julianne Gauthier, Jen Murphy, that damn Karen, Gary Lewis, Claudia, Lucy L, Scribbles, who is Bob? She said Bob. Shel Teresa, Zephyr, Watcher Soko, Errol Thomas, Gary Lewis, Pam Ham. Good job, you guys. Oh, Meredith Powell says Hank. No. Meredith, you already got the answer right. She went for the bonus. That was not it. Good job, you guys. Very good job. Here's the next one. Oh, I see. Jen Murphy says Bob was their mechanic. Of course. Of course it was. Okay. You guys ready for the next one? Here we go. What country is famous for the beer Corona? What country is famous for the beer coronavirus? The beer Corona. Okay. I've seen enough. And I actually have to speed things up a bit because I am running late on schedule. The answer is Mexico. Mexico. And Meredith Powell once again at the top. Meredith Powell. Good job. Good job. She is followed by Veronica Tello, Claudia, Nurse Mitch, Michelle Bookout, Zephyr, Maureen Otto, Gary Lewis, Watcher Soko, Regina Clark, the Trump Reaper, Misha Oliver, Cindy C, Valerie G, that damn Karen, Jen Murphy, Lucy L, Lee Saunders, Wilbur McCarthy. Nope, sorry, not Wilbur. He said USA. Bernadette H, Errol Thomas, Marie from New Jersey, Kathleen Cross, Susie Briswell, Shel Teresa. Good job, you guys. Good job. Good job. Okay, next up. What are the Japanese poems with syllables in the pattern 575 called? What are the Japanese poems with syllables in the pattern 575 called? Meredith Powell celebrating. Says, woohoo, I am the greatest. All right, I've seen enough. The answer we're looking for is haiku. And at the top, we have, once again, Susie Briswella smashing it. Smashing it. Smashing it. Followed by Meredith Powell, Nurse Mitch, Philosophy, Gary Lewis, The Trump Reaper, Cindy C, Maureen Otto, Marie from New Jersey, Jen Murphy, Misha Oliver, Tina G, That Damn Alaskan, Samantha Hawkins, Meek Spees says Pikachu. We'll give you that because we know you knew the answer. Claudia, Veronica Tello, Bernadette H, Kathleen Cross, the Trump Reaper, That Damn Karen, Valerie G, Wilbur McCarthy, Regina Clark. Good job, you guys. Good job. Let's see. You know, it's funny. I look at Meek Spees answers sometimes. I swear I feel like he's trying to intentionally give me the wrong answer most of the time. All right, here we go. Russia is the largest country in terms of area. What country is the second largest? I feel like this one is going to stump many of you. Oh, Susie Briswella with the comment here. She says, all our pages will have the comments in different order. The only one that matters is BDD. Thank you, Susie, for explaining that, because I do know it feel like some of you are looking and you swear to God like you ranked up higher, but that's not how it comes into my browser. It is what it is. In fact, wifey told me like that she's often listening in the other room while I'm doing the show. And she's like, man, my browser is way behind everybody else's. Yeah, that's how it is. All righty. I think I have seen enough. I've seen enough. The answer we were looking for is Canada, or as I sometimes like to refer to it, Canadia. And who do we have at the top here? We have Cindy C. Good job, Cindy C. Good job. Well done. followed by the Trump Reaper, Kathleen Cross, Nurse Mitch, Misha Oliver, EPC, Samantha Hawkins, the Trump Reaper. Philosophy said the island of haiku. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Meek Speed says Lothlorien east of Dale. What the fuck, dude? Marie from New Jersey, Susie Briswella, Gary Lewis, Okay, good job, you guys. Good job. Good job. I did stump quite a few of you on that one. Here's the next one. What is the world's largest retailer? What is the world's largest retailer? What? What? Oh, scribble my nipples. I'm sorry. I cannot not say anything about your answer, Scribble. Scribble my nipples said Woolworth. God damn. Whee. Thank you for that. I have seen enough. I remember when our grandmother used to take us to Woolworth's on Dykeman Street. I have some fond memories of that. For some reason, I remember getting grilled cheese at the counter. Am I misremembering that? I swear I'm remembering grilled cheese and French fries at the counter, which might be why grilled cheese and French fries are my go-to default food when I go to a diner. That's a fun fact. Fun fact, if you go to a diner with me, 9 times out of 10, I don't even need to see the menu. It's like, give me some grilled cheese with a tomato and the French fries. All right? Let's see. Nurse Mitch is at the top with the correct answer. Was Walmart. Walmart was the correct answer, and I got answers from all over the place, including Woolworth. We got Lee Saunders, Gary Lewis, and EPC, Misha Oliver, Samantha Hawkins, Claudia, Tina G, Cindy C, Bernadette H. We got a lot of people saying Amazon. That's an interesting thing. And then here's Trump Reapers asking online or brick and mortar. It's a good distinction. Marie from New Jersey, Bernadette H. Michelle saying we called it the 5 and dime. Yeah, we did too. We did call Woolworth the 5 and dime. I never knew why. Scribbles wants a grilled cheese. Oh, with a vanilla egg cream. Okay, here we go. Next one. I think this is the last one, actually. Here we go. What was the name of the two brothers who published the fairy tales Cinderella and Rapunzel in 1812? I think they also did Sleeping Beauty. What was the name of the two brothers who published the fairy tales Cinderella and Rapunzel and Sleeping Beauty in 1812? Where's my, oh, here it is. I've seen enough. The correctamundo answer was the Brothers Grimm. And at the top here we have Lee Saunders. Lee Saunders, well done. Congratulations. All the applause for you. And followed by Nurse Mitch, Susie Brizuela, Meredith Powell, The Trump Reaper, EPC, Meek Spees, Cindy C., Misha Oliver, Jen Murphy, Marie from New Jersey, Regina Clark, Michelle Bookout, Samantha Hawkins, Kathleen Cross, Watcher Soko, Scribble My Dibbles, That Damn Alaskan, Foxhill Dreams, Bernadette H., Veronica Tello, Philosophy, Meek Spees, Errol Thomas, Gary Lewis. Oh, that's right. Lee Saunders also says Thumbelina, Ugly Duckling. Yeah, they made a lot of those stories there. Yeah. The Trump Reaper says they did a lot of Disney stories, but much bloodier and more violent, indeed. Wilbur McCarthy, Elaine Prieto, Watcher Soko. Good job, you guys. Very good. This was a fun show. I mean, a fun guessing game. I did enjoy this one. And now, let's see. It is now time for You Raggedy Bish.
You Raggedy Bish.
And today's You Raggedy Bish. There's an election race. There's a race for senator going on in Georgia right now. And on the left, from the Democrats, we have Reverend Warnock, who's running for re-election. And then on the right, there's the unfortunate sight of former Heisman Trophy winner Herschel Walker. It'd be funny if it wasn't so goddamn tragic. And when I say tragic, it is tragic. It's tragic. I wonder if the guy even knows what is happening, what's going on. Like the same criticism they have for President Biden, you know, which I can say with absolute certainty is unfounded and uncalled for, because I don't think I could function. I don't think I could operate on the level President Biden is right now, the way he's functioning. I don't think I could cope. You got to take your hat off to him. Herschel Walker, meanwhile, is probably 30 years younger, and this is the kind of answer he gives when asked to speak about, I don't even know what the hell he was trying to speak about the Constitution, or here, let's check in on this one.
Build Back Better.
It was Build Back Better, excuse me. Continue.
Build Back Better. You probably want something written, like Lord of the Land, stating all men are to be treated equal. Oh, we have the Constitution. So you probably want to put people in charge who's going to fight for the Constitution. Just thinking. God bless you.
I don't want to laugh, but dude, you put yourself out there. God damn. It brings to mind, it reminds me of an old skit from the old comedy show In Living Color. God forgive me for showing this, but I don't give a damn. You know, he put himself out there. He's allowing himself to be used, and, well, that's what the hell happens. But it reminds me of this sketch from In Living Color. It was Damon Wayans doing this character who's in jail, Oswald Bates.
First of all, we must internalize the flatulation of the matter by transmitting the effervescence of the Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate the crux of my venereal infection. If I may retain my liquids here for one moment, I'd like to continue the redundance of my quote-unquote intestinal tract. See, because to preclude on the issue of world domination would only circumvent, circumcise the revelation that reflects the aphrodisiac symptoms which now perpetrate the Jericho's activation.
God damn. Oh, I'm going to hell for that. Oh, thank you, Scribble. Says there's an echo. I'll figure what that echo is and I'll fix it. But yeah, it's tragic. It's tragic, and that is probably why yesterday or this weekend at some point Herschel Walker skipped his appearance at the debate. This was the GOP primary, and he was just an empty podium. And you can expect that he will be an empty podium for the foreseeable future. I mean, if it would be malpractice, it would be political malpractice to put him in front of an audience without a script in a debate against real live people, knowing that he's not all there. He's not all there. It's not. And it's political malpractice to even set him up just because he's got name recognition. You know, he was a famous football player. And you know what? He's not even that nice a guy. He did beat his wife. He's one guy that you put him in a debate and you can just have one of the guys say, so when did you stop beating your wife? And that shit will land. That shit will land. And somehow, a poll came out that has Raphael Warnock trailing Herschel Walker by 4 points. Unreal. What do they think? Are Georgians that dense? Are they that shallow that they think black people are just interchangeable? You got two black people. Well, we could replace this black guy with that black guy. It's the same thing. No, it's not. You know, if he was running for, guy who holds football or pretends to throw football, yeah, then by all means, elect him for that. He is, of course, he is being backed by Trump. So, I think they should probably, I would love to see him speak live more often. I would, because that will dispel, and you cannot be a proud Georgian and listen to this guy speak and think, that's who I want representing my state. You just can't. You can't. Marie from New Jersey says, it's the R, that's all. They will loyally vote the R, and that's that. It's sad, but you're probably right. Probably right, Marie. And Wachasoko, for all intents and purposes, thinks it's a fake poll. And, it's coming from Fox News, so you could be right. You could be right. But I personally, I think that when polls come out early and your candidate is trailing, but is within striking distance, I think that's the sweet spot. I think that's where you want to be. I don't think you want your candidate to peak too soon. You want them to come from behind with the momentum, closer to the election, I guess. I mean, it'd be nice if he had an overwhelming lead, but this is going to be a nail biter. Sad to say. And, I could probably put the people of Georgia, in as the raggedy bish for today, if that poll had any veracity, if there's any truth to that. But we shall see in the weeks and months to come. there's a lot of politicking to do before the election. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad. And if you have not yet gotten your shot, what are you waiting for? You waiting for the Yankees to come bust your ass? Get your shot, get your booster, wear a mask if you are so inclined. I think masks are going to probably be coming back in vogue these days. There's those numbers are starting to go back up again. I'm sick and tired of them. My daughter just asked me the other day, yesterday, she asked me if we could, or Saturday, if we could go and see. Thank you, Veronica Tello. Thank you so much for the kind donation. Tiny Pops asked me if we could go to see the Batman movie. And I so wanted to. I was trying to find a rationale for going to see that, taking the fam to a movie theater. I'm almost there. Just not quite, especially since The Batman is coming to HBO like next week. So why would I do that? I'll just watch it on HBO next week. I think that's what we're going to do. So yeah, this Wednesday, I will be doing a live interview with our friend Nick Knudsen, 5:30, same time, same place. I love you all. Peace. Look at me all fancy with the controls and whatnot. Boom. I see your suggestion, Veronica Tello. Rent the theater. But that would be way too expensive. I looked, actually. They want like $300 for that shit. Nope. I'll just wait. Scribble my dibbles with the good suggestion. Trick is to do the first matinee on a weekday, fewer people. That would mean I'd have to keep the kids out of school. Oh, we have no, can't do it. We have too many anti-vaxxers in this country to defeat COVID. Indeed. Laurie Donahue, discussing they would use him this way, hope he has family to guide him. Laurie, I think if he did, I don't think that he'd be out there doing his thing right now. Lee Saunders says she can watch Batman for free on the big screen, still hasn't bothered. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just going to wait for next week. Meek Spees. That's a funny one. Rent the theater and play only your previous streams. I would only have time for one, I think. These streams are not short. Trump Reaper is informing us no trolls today unless she missed something. No, I don't think so. Glory Lord, a warning to stop Trump. Yeah. All right, you guys. I love you so much, but you know what time it is. It's that time. You need to leave.